Okay, thanks, Jim.
AEW, All Elite Wrestling, is already a top pro wrestling brand seen Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on TNT. The collection of talent is a solid mix of established names, up-and-comers, and legends. And one of those legends was an exceptional in-ring talent who is part of one of the most successful and lucrative factions all time. Now he's sharing his knowledge with others, especially one of St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada's finest. One chairman of AEW, Mr. Shawn Spears. Thank you, Four Horsemen original and Shawn Spears manager advisor, Tully Arthur Blanchard. Tully, tell us about Shawn Spears and his talent.
Well, I think that it is, first we got to get rid of the Arthur, even though it is your show. But Shawn Spears is a very talented and experienced young man. And he is just, he has missed the final touches to his career, and that is being at the level the Four Horsemen were. And when he and I first talked and started putting things together, it was, those are the things that he wants from me, and those are the things that I have to offer. And so it's going to be an exciting ride. It has been so far, but we've seen, even in this short time, we've seen some changes in his in-ring attitude and manner, and as long as that continues, we'll be a great team.
Tully, how did this collaboration between you two formulate with AEW?
Well, it was a phone call, and we'd like to have you involved, and I haven't been involved in wrestling in a long, long time, 30 years, and other than autograph shows. And so it was an opportunity, and as my life has changed, and I am on staff at a church, a very large church in San Antonio, and I prayed and said, okay, Lord, am I supposed to go through this? Am I supposed to do this? And if not, close the door. When the WWE called me many years ago and wanted me to be an agent, I prayed the same prayer, and the door was slammed in a day. And this door has stayed wide open, so I have no problem coming up doing, and I don't even have a problem being, giving the fans a little bit of the 1980s, because that's what they know me for. And even though my heart has changed and my life has changed, it's an exciting thing to be out in front of the audience and walk down that ramp with Shawn every night.
Tully, do you have dual citizenship?
No.
So you were not born in Canada?
I was born in Canada, but I never applied for dual citizenship.
So well then, are you just interested in me, because I know Shawn is from Canada. Are you Canadian then, or American? Which one?
No, I'm a U.S. citizen, and my dad was up there playing football for the Edmonton Eskimos, and met my mother. And so when that was finished, then I guess I lived up there maybe 6 weeks, something like that. It was too cold, even as a baby, 54 below zero the night I was born. So I'm a San Antonio boy, a Miami boy.
There you go. Hey, have you ever been? Shawn's from St. Catharines, Ontario, though. Have you ever wrestled or been to St. Catharines?
No.
And Canada, I'm sure you like, right, South Florida and San Antonio. It's much warmer, as you said, than Canada. So it's a really nice thing. Hey, you mentioned your dad playing Canadian football, correct?
Right, he played for the Edmonton Eskimos.
All right, so he played CFL, and I know you played college ball. Was it West Texas State?
Correct.
Did you have aspirations then of playing NFL or even CFL?
I certainly did when I was younger. I was in a severe car accident in was heavily damaged, and so there goes your pro career.
And then right then, is that when you transitioned into pro wrestling?
No, I mean, my dad ran the promotion in South Texas and produced a TV show, and I mean, I knew at some point in time I didn't know I'd be in-ring talent, but I knew I'd be in the wrestling business.
Well, Tully, you and AEW will be coming to Miami. This will be a debut for South Florida of AEW. It's going to be a huge event. Bash at the Beach. Wednesday, January 15th from the Watsco Center at the University of Miami. And then the Jericho Cruise, the Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, will be from Miami to Nassau, Bahamas from January 20th to 24th. Tully, what are some of your thoughts of Miami and the pro wrestling history here?
Oh, gosh. I started wrestling when I graduated from college in 1977. I graduated at midterm, and I started working for the Graham there in Florida Championship Wrestling. And so Miami Beach was every Wednesday night. You had to do TV in Tampa and then jump in the car and blast to get down to Miami Beach over at the Civic Center. And I was just out of college and just trying to learn a little bit about wrestling, and was very, very fortunate. Eddie Graham gave me a lot of insight, and for the 5 months that I was there. And then later on in my career, when I was wrestling Dusty all the time, oh my God, the War Games in the Orange Bowl, and you just walk out in that stadium, and the aura that was there from everything that you'd ever seen in an Orange Bowl game, and all the classics, and here you are in the same stadium, and Flipper was in the stinking end zone, and oh my God. And we had 50,000 people at a wrestling match, and that was humongous.
You mentioned War Games and you mentioned the Orange Bowl, historic sites. Did you ever play football down here?
No. I played in Tampa. We played the University of Tampa when Freddie Solomon was there.
Great wide receiver. Remember Freddie Solomon played with the Dolphins and the 49ers.
Yeah, he played quarterback. And we came down and played, and we actually won the game, too. Weren't supposed to, but we did. So that was a good thing. Made it a good trip.
Good memories of Florida football. Hey, you mentioned Dusty, and obviously Cody Rhodes running AEW, doing some great things. Are there any similarities do you see, even behind the scenes, between Dusty and Cody?
You see a tremendous drive. I was probably, back in the days when we did all those things, we didn't necessarily have access to, we were on different dressing rooms on different sides of the buildings and all of that kind of stuff back in the 80s, and so it was a little bit different in the interaction. But being able to stand off and watch Cody and watch the hierarchy of AEW and Tony Khan, and oh my gosh, it's the energy and the excitement of being and producing and being on the show. It's a whole different world than the drudgery sometimes that making a weekly live television show can get to. And it's a pleasant experience. It's really good, and then that the wrestling fans are appreciating it. And I was just in New York at the big autograph show, and the wrestling fans, they got AEW hats on, and they're coming in and holding holding up four fingers. I asked one of the fans, I said, when I walk out with Shawn, I said, do I need to hold up my four fingers? And they said, you absolutely need to hold up four fingers. So you may see that next week on TV from Chicago. And the Horsemen were big in Chicago.
Oh, man, the Horsemen were huge. The Horsemen were huge everywhere. Tully, what does AEW then mean to you?
I tell you, it has rekindled a part of my life that was very, not in a negative way or anything, but, you know, I mean, I'm 65 years old. You know, I mean, I'm not going to go in and hit anybody, and I'm not going to go in and whip anybody, and I'm certainly not going to go in and have anybody hit me. And, you know, I'm just a nice little old grandpa, and I need to stay that way, but I do have a lot of knowledge. And because I sought knowledge, my goal when I was wrestling was to be the best performer that I could be, but I also wanted to be the best in the business, and I always strove for that. I don't think that I got it, but I didn't miss it by very far. So, you know, that's a thing that is awesome, and that knowledge needs to be passed on. It doesn't need to die with me.
And he is passing on that knowledge, and there are some great talents in AEW. When you look at AEW, and of course Shawn Spears is doing tremendous things, who do you see as some of the younger talent that we're looking at here with AEW?
Well, the things that they can do in the ring, you know, the guys from Southern California, you got the Young Bucks. There's a lot of guys that have just unbelievable talent and ability, and the things that they can do. You know, I mean, it was this autograph show last weekend. Neil Mascaris was there, and I haven't seen him in a long, long time. And we went up and hugged, and he had a little tear in his eye, and I had a little tear in my eye. And George Napolitano got it on film, and I said, man, I got to have those pictures. And so it was a nifty thing. But, you know, some of that, the flips and the stuff that the things can do, the high intensity moves, you know, Mascaris and those guys were the only ones that could do that stuff. And now a lot of people can do it, and it's very entertaining. And the wrestling business has always been the entertainment business. So you can't lose sight of that.
Wow, you mentioned Mascaris, man of 1,000 masks. What an outstanding talent. Actually, I think one of the original pioneers bringing lucha style to American wrestling and making it very successful, too. I'm glad you mentioned Mil Mascaris, one of my favorites growing up. This is going to be interesting, Tully, when you all come to Miami, come to South Florida, because you have the big AEW Dynamite show on January 15th. Tickets are now on sale, and you can get them at www.aewtix.com. That's AEWTIX.com. And then you have this big Jericho cruise. So I'm wondering, Tully, are you going to be part of the Jericho cruise?
I haven't been asked to be part of the Jericho cruise, so probably not. But I should put that into my new contract.
It'll be a fun
cruises I get to go on.
It'll be a fun time for sure, and they're going to be filming some matches there as well, so that'll be cool that people can check that out. Are you a cruise person though? Do you like boats?
I can be. The only cruise I've ever been on, I left out of Miami, so it was. I like to float, swim, and scuba dive.
Oh man, then South Florida is your place right there, and it'll be a good time. And people can,
absolutely.
Yeah, Tully, they could also check out some information there at ChrisJerichoCruise.com. So if fans want to check it out and see, there's a waiting list I know there because it's in very high demand. So that'll be a fun time for sure. And it's really good that AEW is making a South Florida appearance. I know fans have been clamoring for that. Tully, what do you think of the wrestling business today? What do you think there's so much out there. There's so much talent out there. Do you think that's just because of social media and the advent of online and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook that we're seeing more talent? Or do you think there's always been a lot of talent out there?
There's probably been a lot of talent. I have been drifted away from the business for a long time, so I'm just getting reoriented. But there's a lot of things about the wrestling business that have changed, but there's a lot that have not. And it is, TV time and talent, and AEW has got the TV time and the talent, and that's how you become successful. It doesn't make any difference what any other company in the country does. TV time and talent, and you get watchers, you get viewers. If the TV show is great, and everybody that I have talked to of my friends that are old-time fans are excited about it, and it's exciting to be part of something new and refreshing. And I just sculled that one. Yeah, go. Okay. I'm playing golf.
How's your golf game, Tully?
Well, it was good until we started this interview.
Tully, we'll wrap this up. What?
No, that's okay. A little bit of a gloomy day here in San Antonio. We're just playing, but I just sculled that one, and anyway.
Tully, are you as good a golfer as Larry Zbyszko?
Not sure. Larry is a good golfer. I've got a 12 handicap, so I don't know what Larry's is. So that's kind of where my world lives.
Oh, that's great. All right, we're gonna get you out of here. So everybody, January 15th, Miami, big AEW Dynamite show live on TNT. It'll be at the Watsco Center at the University of Miami. You get your tickets, AEWTix.com. We talked about younger talent. I know AEW with Darby Allin and MJF and Sammy and so many out there. But there's a young talent out there who's doing quite well for herself. And I'm just curious, we'll wrap this up, Tully, but what do you think of the success of Tessa Blanchard? Was she athletic growing up? And gee, what do you think is the reason why she's just taken to this so quickly? Is it natural talent?
Well, all of my children are very athletic, very coordinated. I just chipped my skull. I didn't chip it in, but I'm 2 feet.
Nice shot. I wish we had video of the golf.
There we go. Tessa, and speaking of Miami, that's where the Horseman got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And that's the first time my children had really ever been around me in the wrestling business, because they were all born after my career.
That's amazing.
One putt is good.
Yes.
And when I got to introduce them to the 14,000 people that were at the American Airlines Center. And Dusty, if anybody ever wants to see a great job of respect, Dusty introducing us and inducting us into the Hall of Fame was pretty neat. And but Tessa, when I introduced her and the people all cheered, something happened, and she is really done her craft, and she is on task all the time. Calls me. I said, "This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do." And she is now at a point in her career. George Stout gave her the and so I was very confident in that when she first started. And then, how to take your level to the main event level to be the main event everywhere you go. That's what we're working on now. and a lot of that is just knowing what to do. The thing that I've referred back in my career are the times when I sat up all night talking to Nick Bockwinkel, sat up all night talking to Terry Funk, sat up all night talking to Jose Lothario. The superstars in wrestling from back when I was a kid, and the ones that made money every place they went. And then I was fortunate enough, I got to wrestle Terry. I spent probably 3 years wrestling Wahoo McDaniels, and there wasn't anybody better than him. And, so all that knowledge that I have, there's a lot of guys that were successful in this business that still don't have that knowledge. And that's where we are. And so I am trying to pour that into Shawn, and I'm also trying to pour that into my daughter.
Well, you're doing a great job at it just by seeing how both of them are progressing. And Tully, thank you so much. January 15th, Bash at the Beach in Miami. It's going to be a great show. It'll be on TNT, AEW Dynamite. Get your tickets, awtix.com, at the Watsco Center at the University of Miami. A great place for a show. Tully, thank you so much for the time.
My pleasure.